from the Iceberg with a GrandPolar. Coming to you over the Ethernet, and into your ears.
If you could start, and please tell us about Hardland. How did it start? How long has it been going?
Well, originally, Hardland started as a project, not really a band. And the project was because I quit my PA company. And while I was still working in the PA company, I had a couple of people working for me, the current drummer and the current other lead singer and guitar player. And we actually, when we had recorded a live session of some other band in our mobile studio, we were rendering that into the computer, and then that took a long time back in the days. We're talking about 99, 2000, about that era. And at that time, we just had to do something to spill the time, and to kill the time. And we thought, okay, well, let's write a song. And that's how it all started, because in those days, I think it was in the summer of 2000, we started writing what became later the track, The Only Answer. That's the ballad of the first album. And, well, we still didn't do anything with it because we were only writing songs in those days. And we had, I think, about 150 songs written and recorded. And then we figured, hey, there's 10 songs that kind of fit together. So we put those 10 songs together. We had them completely mixed and everything by a friend of ours. And then we sent them to Abbey Road because we wanted the best possible mix and edit that we could get in the mastering of the track. So we sent them to Abbey Road. And we did that first. The first track we sent was that ballad, The Only Answer, because it sounded a little bit like Pink Floyd. And we were like, okay, we want to look for that guy that used to work with the Beatles and with Pink Floyd and all those guys, and it was Sean McGee. And we just called Abbey Road basically to ask if they also work with small bands like us. But apparently the lady didn't understand my English, so she put me through to Sean McGee himself, and I talked to him I think for about an hour or so, all about music and history and all that kind of stuff. And I asked him personally, okay, do you mind, mastering our music? Well, he didn't mind at all, and he really loved doing it. And afterwards, he told us that he totally liked our songs and our album, and he wanted a copy of it. So we sent him a copy, and then we asked, okay, are we allowed to put your name on it? That you worked along with us. And he said, yeah, that's fine with me. But I remember that in those days, on the website of Abbey Road, they wrote down that it was not allowed to put the names of the mastering engineers on your album. So I told him that I read that on the site, and he went basically to the highest people there and told them, well, to screw himself basically, because he wanted on that album. And that's what happened. He got permission to do it, and we got permission to do it, and we put his name on there. And well, that's basically what. And then after that album was released, all the reviews and everything were so good that basically we had no other option than to basically form a band. And that's when we got a band together and looked for more people for a bass player and a keyboard player. That's basically how it started. At first, it was like a project with a group of friends, 3-4 friends, and we just recorded the music that we loved. That's basically how Hardland started.
Gosh, that's quite a pedigree, though, to have a mastering engineer of that quality on your album as an unknown band.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it is funny how things actually work in the music industry, because I was producing, and I still do, I produce a South African artist here. Yeah. And her band, the harmonies reminded me very much of Uriah Heep harmonies.
Oh, that's cool.
So I just sent an email to Ken Hensley of Uriah Heep, and I said, are you interested? And I sent him some of the, rough tracks and reference tracks and that. And he says he absolutely loves it. When can we be in Spain? And we spent 2 months in Spain with him recording an album,
Wow.
And it is that if you don't take that chance,
you won't win.
You won't win. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's basically what we did as well. We just went for it. We just called them and said, okay, this is what we want to do. And is that possible? And well, they put me through to the guy himself, I mean, that's absolutely amazing, every now and then you got to pinch yourself to see, like, oh, it's really him I'm talking to, you know.
But anyway, enough about me. Sorry. Your musical influences.
My musical influences. Well, I grew up listening to at home. My mom basically played music from the Carpenters and that kind of stuff, you know, which I totally despised. And when I started buying my first album, when I had a newspaper out, I bought Alice Cooper with $1 Billion Babies. And the second album I bought was Kiss Live, the first one. And the third album I bought was, I think it was The Tubes, the first album of The Tubes. And those were my influences, and they still are.
Okay.
And from the other guys, I mean, I know that Paul, the other lead singer and guitar player, he's basically influenced by Paul McCartney, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, people like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC. The drummer is basically from metal era, like Epica and those kind of bands, you know. Totally different in Muse. He also likes 80s kind of style of Muse. So that's basically our influence.
Okay, and
then we all love like the 80s basically, because that's when we grew up in with those bands and that music, and we love that kind of music, you know. And yeah, we hardly hear it on the radio anymore these days. So that's basically why we started to write in that style, because we wanted to hear more 80s music on the radio. So that's why we basically started writing in that 80s vibe, kind of.
Who's the main songwriter of the band, or is it a collaborative process?
Not so much. There's only basically two people. That's Paul and myself. We are both the guitar players, the drummers and bass players, with all due respect, but they don't write songs, at least not in our band. We used to have a keyboard player who also contributed to a couple tracks that we did, and yeah, that's basically at the moment it. I would like more people to collaborate on songs and write music, but we're working now with a new bass player, and he's a really good songwriter as well. So we think that he will probably contribute on the next album as well.
Okay. And future plans? You just mentioned you're working on another album.
We're working on a triple album, actually. Yeah. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of stupidity, and it takes a lot of hard work. But we're writing one album with completely new, fresh material, all originals. We do one album with covers, basically in the style of what we did with Come Back and Stay. We totally make it our own and change it around and make something different out of it. And we want to do an album completely unplugged.
Okay.
And that's basically what we want to do. And we took this year off to basically write and record as much as we can. And then we will start going back live again, like early next year or so. That's basically our plan.
Okay, that's quite interesting, a triple album. I haven't heard about that for a long time.
Nah, you know, we always try to do something weird. And our first album was like, okay, we wanted to release an album that we are proud of, you know, and obviously we were. Second album had to be something different, so we created an album with a DVD, with an extra bonus DVD, you know, with all kind of video clips and all kind of other footage and everything that we had. And okay, what's the next step? If you have 2 discs, next step is going to be 3. So that's basically that was basically our thought, you know. And like you said, who does a triple album? You know, nobody does it anymore. So why not?
I can't even remember a triple album. I think Quadrophenia, possibly, and yes.
That's probably one of the latest that I can remember as well. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. It's about time that somebody picks it up again, you know, and start doing it again.
Yeah, the trend these days is not to record an album, but to release a single every 3 months.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know. I'm old school.
Yeah,
you know, I'm old school, and I still want to have something physical in my hand. You know, I want to have a CD or an album or whatever. You know, and all those streams and everything. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's done a lot, and a lot of bands go basically only streaming, or they go to Bandcamp and that kind of stuff and try to sell their MP3s or whatever. But MP3 is like a lesser quality, If you have like an album or a CD, that's much better quality. Plus you have like the lyrics to it, and you have like a little booklet with photos and all that stuff, And if you're lucky, you get like guitar picks with it or something, or other kind of merch and everything. And when you have like only, streams, I mean, come on, Spotify. The only people that get money out of Spotify. That's what's this guy's name? Daniel Ek or whatever. Yeah, that is, and it's really a shame that all these bands work so hard and they see so little revenue coming back, from all the hard work that they do.
Well,
it's simply because people want to people want to have the music for free, They want to stream it, they want to all that kind of stuff. People don't want to go to bands anymore, I mean, here in Holland, I mean, when you go see a band like us, a smaller band or anything, never a sold out concert. Never. It's always like 20, 30 people or something. It's ridiculous. When you go to Germany, it's a total different story.
Yeah.
Well, I must say, I don't know really how to do it. Create like a 12-minute song that's still, in the end, is still just as cool as in the beginning. I mean, I would get bored probably halfway. I mean, I really am into that line of writing radio kind of songs, like 3-4 minutes and that's it. Tell your story quickly and that's it. Kind of, trying to be a little bit more modern in that way, giving the people what they want, not too much to think about, because a lot of people can't think about things anymore, They don't know how to use the brains anymore. So that's basically what I'm trying to do. And yeah, but I still, I really applaud all those musicians that can really do all those great prog rock and everything. That's amazing. I mean, I really love bands like Yes and stuff. I got a ton of albums of them, I mean, that's awesome music.
And then you must very obviously got Pink Floyd influences.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, Paul went to see them one time when they did their, I think it was the Wall, the show in London, where they played the Crater of Phoenix, and that's where he went that time. And I never saw them live, unfortunately, but I do love them very much, and it's like an amazing band, and the influences in a lot of ways. Their how you say it, their mixes, the way they mix their music and everything, how they make their arrangements and everything. I mean, that's kind of where we get our ideas from.
Cool. Right. One thing I like to do is surprise people.
Okay.
So we do this.
Okay.
It's 10 easy questions.
No problem. I'm ready.
Just say the first thing that comes into your mind. There's no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready when you are. That's simple. Fries. Rum. Favorite band? It got to be the Tubes. Favorite color? Blue. I got actually 2 favorite movies. Kentucky Fried Movie and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Favorite song? Well, anything Tubes. Malagueña Sala Rosa. Favorite animal? A cat. Favorite actor? I'd say Jack Nicholson. That's favorite drink? Tequila and mezquila. Favorite radio station? All the stations you work on, mate.